Now what we're going to do is do an example where we look at learning uh, that's going to take place for a little while, but then it's going to stop. So say for instance, we have a case where we have and since I have it up here, why don't we just say that we have, say that the first unit takes 10 hours to complete. Um, and then our learning curve rate is, we'll try 80% this time, which that means our b value would be our natural log of the learning curve rate, which is 80% divided by the natural log of 2. So that's our b value here. And so then we'll have our x, our y, and our total direct labor hours, and then we also had our marginal that we talked about earlier, and that's what we're going to be actually discussing a little bit more so here. And we'll do an underline here. So remember, we had our 0 times 0 equals 0. But now what we're going to do is that we're going to say learning ends after 10 units produced. But we want to estimate cost for 16 units. And we'll have our direct labor wage. We said 25 before. We can keep it at 25. I guess they made that currency there. So we will go through this process. We have this plus 1, work our way down. So through 10 units, out of practice here, I guess missed one there. Okay, so through 10 units, learning is going to take place. But then after that, we're going to end up staying at the rate of the time where the learning has left us. So going back to our A times the X value and then raised to the index of learning B value there. We're going to have, I'm sorry, the first one is, well, that is 10. And then we would have this formula copy down there. And so then as we go to the second one, this should be 80%, and we see that goes to 80% of that values. And so then we're at 16 total. So then this marginal 16 minus 10, the marginal amount of time took 6 hours. So we continue this down. So from 8 to 6.4 to 5.12 as we do 80% of each. But now we're going to continue on to 10, which means that after 10 units, we've worked 47.65 hours. So then what happens after the 11th or after the 10th unit? Well, so we are at from 44.36 to 47.65. It's taken us 3.285 hours. Now that's the marginal, so that's the from going from the 9th to the 10th unit. So the cumulative average has fallen, but now that stops. So that is this 4.7, that's average, not marginal. So what we need to do is going forward, and in the next video when we go and do an estimate of our costs, the additional hours are going to continue at this 3.285 rate.